What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metal Remains Backstage. We are here in Clifton, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah, and with me is Lwandile from the band Vulvodynia, a band from South Africa. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah, it's been hot. We just got here a couple hours ago, but stoked to play the show, stoked to be here.
Is this the first time the band is touring in North America?
We've actually did about, I'm gonna say 4 other tours. I could be wrong. 4 or 5 other tours we have. So we're pretty used to Northern America.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that. Well, this is my first time talking to a member from a band that is from South Africa. So it's thank you for that.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Because I didn't know what the name of the band means until I researched it. So can you tell us how you choose the name of the band?
So I want to preface this answer with I had nothing to do with naming the band. I had nothing to do. Back when the original members started the band years and years and years and years ago, like 2014 or something, they were like 16 years old or something, and I guess they wanted to look for the most brutal, heavy sounding name with the most shock value possible.
Yeah.
So they opened up a medical book and just tried to find the worst names, and they found Vulvodynia. And unfortunately, Vulvodynia is like kind of like an uncurable, untraceable vaginal disease. So it could be like many things, but as long as there's some sort of pain within the walls of a vagina, that's Vulvodynia. And unfortunately, that's how we got our name, and we're kind of stuck with it now. But too late to change. So embrace it,
It's shocking and it's effective too.
It is very shocking.
So I think it was a good decision. The band is from South Africa. Can you tell us how is the community, the metal community there?
Yeah, there's definitely a scene, and it's not as big as the scenes you'll find outside of our continent, like in Europe or America. It's like way bigger and way more known. But there is a scene. We have a bunch of great bands. It's just not the biggest scene in the world. But I feel like with, give us a couple years, we'll start to see more than just us playing shows overseas. More South African bands are going to start coming out of the water. At least that's what I hope will happen in the future. So we do have a scene. It is strong. It is a family, tight-knit community. It's just not as big as your scene at home.
You have toured Europe too, right?
Yeah. We've been to Europe a lot, like 6 times.
What are some of the challenges bands have in South Africa?
I guess most bands in South Africa just see shows around South Africa and nothing else. So they'll be focused on playing shows in South Africa, but they don't have any drive to go leave and play somewhere else. Because obviously being in a band is kind of hard. You can't have a 9-to-5 job and be in a band. You have to pay the bills, know?
Right.
So it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of forward thinking, planning, money, So a band coming from South Africa to, let's say, go play overseas, really expensive, first of all, to pay for flights, And then because we're not flying with gear, we've got to rent gear. That also gets really expensive. We don't have a van, so we've got to rent a van, Right. So all of these costs come together.
Insurance and all that.
Exactly, So it gets really expensive. I think that's like the biggest hurdle a South African band would have with playing overseas,
Okay, yeah,
money.
Understood. Right. The band has just released the album. Entabeni, 2 days ago, actually.
Yeah.
Friday.
Brand new.
We have a weekly show in our channel, and we review albums that come out every week.
Oh, yeah.
Not all of them, because there are like 50
Millions
albums coming.
Of albums,
But we pick like 3-4 albums every week, and one of the albums we talk about this week was your album.
Hell yeah.
Because we really dig it. It's
I'm so happy to hear that.
It's great. It's aggressive. It has everything that you expect from a band from, I don't know, anywhere in the world that played extreme music. So it's great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
What are the sources of inspirations for this album?
Well, let me talk lyrically first, and then we'll go to instruments. But like lyrically, I really wanted to bring the album as close to home as possible. So we're singing about a whole bunch of South African folklore, South African like wives' tales, South African stories about creatures and monsters and mythology and stuff like that. And I wanted to keep it as close to home as possible. Like literally, some of the songs' concepts are stories passed on from my mother and my grandmother and my great grandmother. You know, generationally, these things passed down from generation to generation. So I really wanted to keep the album as close to home as possible and make it exclusively about South Africa, which is what it's about, which is really cool. Instrumentally, before I recorded a pretty sizable amount of guitars as well on this album, besides just vocals. And me and the other guitarists, we like to fuse all our influences. So, you know, we have a range of influences ranging from bands like tech death bands and melodeath bands, hardcore, slam, brutal death metal.
Yeah.
You know, with three guitarists, you have a lot of influences. So we all sit in a room together and we just blend our influences together until we have Vulvodynia.
Wow.
That's how we write all of our music. We all sit together in a room and combine ideas until we have an album.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And it's a great album.
Thank you so much.
That. So for this album, you also got responsibilities on vocals. How this opportunity presented itself?
Yeah, so we had a big mishap with our ex-vocalist, and we had to terminate relations with him. And the whole band kind of turned to me and was like, "We're gonna need you to do vocals," you know. And I was already doing backing vocals while playing guitar in the band, so I just decided that okay, I'm just gonna do this then. So we had a month before the next tour, and I practiced every day as much as I could. I made sure to call friends and ask for help, because that's one important thing you need in like difficult times like that. As much help as you could get, and I definitely needed that. And yeah, before I knew it, we were able to go out on tour that next month with Angel Maker and Carcosa and Awaken Providence, and yeah, it's been looking good ever since.
All right, you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much, dude.
All right, and I'm about to experience that live tonight.
Hell yeah.
If you like this interview, please share it with your friends. Like it. Support Vulvodynia by buying the records.
Entabeni.
Yeah, and Tabeni. And go see them live when they come to a city near you. But until the next time, stay metal. Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Vulvodynia! Let me see you fucking move, Jersey! Jersey.